entire night was a blur. I woke up the next morning naked in a stranger's bed. Two strangers, to be exact, some guy and his girlfriend. I knew then my drinking had gone too far. Sure, I had bedded more girls than I can count, girls I never bothered to remember their names. But waking up with another guy, let's just say that was a massive eye-opener for me. The guy and his girl assured me that yes, we had shared his girlfriend, but nothing happened between him and me, and I believed them. It's not just the waking up next to a man, but the fact that I was engaging in sex without having any memory of it, and not knowing whether or not I was using protection. The first thing I did after sobering up was get myself checked at the clinic. The following week, while waiting on my test results, was the longest week of my entire life. Luckily, my test came back clean. From that moment on, the heavy drinking and the random sex stopped. I had to take back control of my life. It was when the new semester of school had started I met Alba. I don't know what led me to walk up to her and strike up a conversation that day in class. All I knew was there was this shy girl who looked like she was somewhere she didn't belong, kind of like me. So I guess that's why I was drawn to her. But not in a way that said I was attracted to her, but in a way that said she was just the kind of friend I needed. I could tell by the very first moment she looked at me she wasn't like the rest of the girls at school, the kind of girl that sniffed around us athletes looking to score. No. This girl needed a friend, same as me. And that's what we became, friends. Although, I would say Alba is more like a sister. I believe it was fate that led us to become friends. It is because of her that I am where I'm at today. Circumstances in Alba's life led her to leave college and return home to Polson. Not long after she left Bozeman, I quit school and followed her. Like my best friend, school wasn't for me. Alba introduced me to her family, who happens to be bikers. She is now married to one of them, Gabriel Martinez. Gabriel is the enforcer for the Kings of Retribution MC. Then you have the King's president, Jake, their vice president, Logan, sergeant-at-arms, Quinn, and their road captain, Reed. You also have Bennett and his wife, Lisa. Bella is Alba's sister, and she is married to Logan. Reed is married to Mila. Quinn is married to Emerson, and Jake is married to Grace. A few of the other guys like Blake, Gray, and Austin are still single. Toss in all their rugrats, and you have the entire King family. Then you have the single most important member of the King family, the girl who has become my obsession, Sofia Torres, my firefly. The first time I laid eyes on Sophia was a few weeks after I moved to Polson. Bella, Alba's sister, was having a family dinner at her and Logan's house. The sun had just set, and everyone was milling around the backyard, tossing back beers and engaging in conversation. I was sitting on the deck next to Alba when a lone figure standing alone by the edge of the lake caught my attention. The girl with her back to me stood at 5 feet 2 inches and had long dark hair that hung almost to her waist. There was something about this girl that called to me. On autopilot, I stood from my seat and strode across the yard in her direction. I faintly remember hearing Alba tell me her name was Sophia. At that moment, all noise around me ceased to exist. The only sound that could be heard was the beating of my own heart. It was when I was about 10 feet from Sophia I stopped and stared at her. With her back still facing me, all I could see was her profile. I watched as she watched with wonderment the fireflies dancing over the lake. A minute later was when she felt my presence and looked over at me with the brightest smile. I felt as though I had been punched in the stomach. It wasn't just Sophia's beauty that had rendered me speechless. It was the way she lit up at something as simple as watching fireflies. Letting off the throttle, I pull up to Grace's bakery, park,